Hello again. Here behind me you will see various types of parts, mostly consisting of engine parts and some differential parts, and front calipers, rear calipers and wheel bearings. For the most part they are new, some are reconditioned, such as this one. This one's used, but upon comparing it to the older one, you will see a slight difference, not by camera, but when measuring it up, you will see that this one has been worn out pretty bad, and this one is fairly good. This one sits on the crank itself, the bottom part, and this one is the pulley that drives the alternator belt, and the power steering belt, and the air compressor pump. Now, moving on. Here you will see various parts such as rings, other parts such as rear wheel bearings. It's a whole kit. It's best if I don't open it, best not to lose anything. Here I have the tensioner assembly, the whole unit. This one is to set the pulley for the timing belt. And also I have the big end bearings, the connecting rod shells, the thrusts that sit with the crank, and much more parts. Let's see, what do we have here? Also, we have a new part. So you can see, check it out, this is brand new. This one consists of having the thermostat here and a couple of sensors regarding water temperature. Now, this new piece consists, same as the old one, but in better condition. Let me show you the old one. Next to this one, as you can see, this one is all corroded. So, it's useless. But this one's brand new. So now, we'll have us some proper cooling. Let's see, what do we have next? We've got all the parts to see, but got lost and confused when I was looking at them. Some I forgot what they were for. But mainly, many parts. Many parts. Let's see what we have in this one, because they're all numbers. They're coded. Oh yeah. Valve guides. The valve guides are where the valve sits when it goes up, in and out. What else we have? Mainly I have lots of seals, lots of gaskets, and lots of rubber. This one is for the calipers, the dust covers. Now, let me show you something more interesting. These are the gaskets that sit on the lower piece of the engine, and this one is the main engine seal. This one sits on the last piece of the crank, on the other side. The other end is to this one, and seals the oil from coming out behind the flywheel. Now, there are many parts that I can't show you, but it will take forever, so it's best if you watch them being assembled. Now, you have the cylinder head gasket with all its seals and rubber parts, or the differential gaskets in here, the oil filter, nothing too special about these, just basic oil filters. I bought 3 because I need one for when I break into the car, and another one to service it after a couple of miles, and a spare one for, say, when the engine needs an oil change, and so on and so forth. Now, let me see what I can show you. Front wheel bearing. Yeah, let me show you the front wheel bearings. Now, here we have us a nice set of new bearings. No more humming while driving, because now we have new ones. Can't quite see them from there, since this one's a bad quality camera. It's not intended for videos, more for photos. So, let's see, let me show you something else. Blah blah blah. Nuts to seal the taper shaft, and another set of bearings. These are taper roller bearings, so they can hold the hub into position while spinning. Now, let's move on to something a bit more interesting, and in my case, very amusing. Moving on to another item. This one is the flywheel that came out of the car, as you remember from previous episodes. This one was badly damaged, badly warped, was burnt from various sides of it. It was burnt pretty much beyond its limit. Now I need to replace this one. So I managed to find me a used one, and let's take a look at the used one. Whoa, that's a nice one, I guess. It's pretty neat. It has a very, very good facing. All I need now is to install it on the engine. Now, facing is very, very good. This one is used, obviously, so it has a couple of miles on it, but it's not too bad for its condition. Better off than using this one. At least this one would keep the clutch healthy rather than burning it out constantly. That's about it for this one. Now let's move on to another topic. I wonder what's hiding underneath these sheets. Let's take a look, and voila! Ooh, here's the rest of the engine, and a very clean one at that. Now, I've been taking very, very good care of this engine and keeping it as neat and tidy as possible. As you can see, everything's cleaned. Obviously I didn't touch here for now. This one I leave it for the final stages. But as for the rest, it's all downright clean. No gunk, no nothing. And now I can proceed to installing some of the new parts that arrived. But that's not it as regarding to surprises. Now I have me another surprise. Let's see what it's about. And this one's covered as well. Time taken for the weight of the parts. Been busy cleaning and refurbishing the rest of the parts. Now, sprayed and cleaned the calipers. They're all clean now. They're all reusable because these were stuck. No wonder the brakes were fading too fast. I've sprayed some parts from the differential. I've sprayed the differential as well. have me some nice colors to it, take off the boring lines of it. So I have me this piece will be red attached to the silver piece here, the heatsink, and the half shafts are going to be blue, but they're going to be separated with the seals which are black, so they'll have a bit of contrast. As for the other parts, I like different kind of underneath as for the car, so I'll make it a bit shiny, so when I lift the car to repair it or something, at least there'll be something nice to look at. This is the bell housing. This one was pretty ugly as the way it was before, so I sprayed it with undercoat, special undercoat for aluminium, and then I gave it a final touch of silver. Since it's already silver, if the color gets damaged or anything, it hits something, it's still grey from underneath, so it won't make that much of a difference. Same goes for the other parts of the differential. They're all silver, just the way they were, and they're casting of aluminium. In the future to come, I will be installing these parts and assembling most of them, but gearbox has to wait a bit more, since parts are quite expensive. So for now I'm gonna have to just do the engine, but there's still lots and lots of parts that need to be done, mostly the gearbox and the underneath of the car, and as well as the wiring and the interior. I've also sprayed me the rear wishbones. Took them a silver color this time instead of black. Hate having a car which is just plain boring color. I like various colors, so let's see. Coming out of the wishbone will be this. As you can see, there's a bit of contrast, and I like contrast because that is gonna be blue, that is gonna be silver, and it has a back plate here which is gonna be black, placed with the red calipers. This car is gonna be all colorful, but the colors will match up. For now they will not seem to make sense because they're all separated. Once they're together, you could see that all colors will blend in smoothly and would be a nice car to look at. But for now it's gonna have to wait, because it was just sitting here for these months and acquired quite some dust. See? I'll be working on it now, mostly on the engine. Here we are again in the parts section. I have me all these parts that I need to assemble. There's a lot to do, but since this is not new for me, this is gonna be a walk in the park. But it is quite time consuming, so it's gonna be a very delicate job and a laborious one as that as well. But you will watch me build this car from ground up and hopefully get it to start someday in a year to come or so, because of the fundings. Now I will leave you at that until further notice. I will have me some parts coming back from spray, and you will see some more updates as we go along.